Carolyn Doobie here. What's the play for today? Well, today I'm going to deal with a whole bunch of cheap Christmas bows. I found a giant box of these that I haven't used in forever, and frankly, I'm probably never going to use because they're not quite me. So I decided I'm going to make them me. Now, along the way as I do this, I'm experimenting, playing around, see what happens, and I make something intensely ugly in my opinion. And yes, I keep going with it because that ugly, it's an oops, an outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly. And in the end, the thing that I thought was ugliest becomes probably my favorite one. Happens to me all the time when I make an oops. So here's the box of old Christmas ribbons that I found. I was cleaning out stuff because I have way too much stuff in my studio, so it's time to purge some of this. And I looked at this and I really haven't used them a lot, so I thought, why don't I change the colors on it to match what I'm doing or what I like to play with? So I'm going to actually spray paint these and see what happens. Don't know if it's going to work, but I'm at least going to give it a try. So since these are the self-adhesive kind, I'm actually going to pull this off of it because it's kind of windy out here today, and when I hit this stuff with spray paint, so I'm just going to stick, and they're not even sticking then. I've had these so long, they are so not sticky. But I'm just going to fill this whole thing up with these, and then I'll be ready to spray paint and see what happens. Alrighty, so now I've got this all covered with the actual bows, and now it's time to start hitting them with some color. I've got some spray paint here. And I'm just going to kind of randomly go around in different places. I'm going to turn these into rainbow ribbons. Of course, really should shake up the paint because apparently mixing it up makes a difference by what comes out of it. Technically, I think they have that in the directions, but did I really read the directions? No, of course not. You know I didn't read those directions. And so I'm just going to change the color of these, so that next time I need to wrap something, especially if it's not for a holiday that I bought these for, then whoops, and there goes the cap. Guess this is a new one too, and I should probably shake it up. That'd probably be a smart move. Now, why do I have paper under here and not just my drop cloth? Well, two reasons. One is these will stick better to paper than they will to plastic. And the other reason is this way I will end up with a colorful background paper made so that none of my paint gets wasted. This is wonderful color, and why risk having any of it disappear or get wasted when I can actually save it? And this is where if I have to think and move my hand at the same time, it's a good thing I'm not chewing gum because it takes me a second here as I'm just playing around with different colors. Now the farther you hold spray paint back, the more you get just a splot of it as opposed to an absolute blast. So I'm just putting speckles all over stuff here. And a little bit of yellow. Oh yeah. Definitely liking how these look compared to how they started. And anywhere where I think that I've got stuff sticking out, well, then I can hit it more spray paint. Another good thing to try is turning your paper to get a different angle so you see things a little differently, because now I'm seeing some areas that I missed because I was on the other side instead of over here. So I'm just going to bring in a little bit of color here and there to cover those in, but having a little bit of metallic kind of peeking through is kind of cool too. So I don't completely want to cover it all up. I want to leave some of it showing. Whoops. Yep, knock that one over. There we go. It'll stick there well enough. Now this stuff I think is going to take a while to dry because it's Mylar or whatever the plastic is that these things are made out of. So I'm going to need to be sure to give these plenty of time to dry. And they did take forever to dry. But now they are dry so I can work on them indoors. And I am just adding some very loose, very random polka dot type things to these. And I say type things because it's not like they're exactly round or spaced perfectly. Very wonky, very loose spots of color. I guess I'm kind of infecting it with polka dots. The paints that I'm using are Perfect Pigment and they're from US Art Quest. And you're going to see me do a few of the bows in process, but I'm using these same techniques on all of them because I basically want to add a little more fun and whimsy to these bows that I've had forever sitting around here that haven't been used. So now what I want to do is put some sparkle on it. And I've got some stickles here, some glitter glue, and I'm tracing around those polka dots. Now the trickiest part about this is finding a place to hold the bow so that you can easily move it around and get your glitter glue everywhere without getting glitter glue on your hands. So you might notice that I kind of tuck my thumb or my finger into some of the bows that way, or some of the loops of the bow. That way I can hold on to it, adjust where it is, so I can keep adding lots of sparkle to this. And one thing about the glitter glue is, well, it takes a little bit longer to dry than paint. But that's okay in this case for me because I've got lots of other bows that I can work on. So once I get this one all glittered up, I'm just going to set it down and grab a different bow to work on. And instead of putting glitter glue around this one, I am just going to come around with white paint. So really kind of, I guess these are almost beginning to look like infected bows instead of fun festive bows. But in the end, I think they're going to look good and not like they've caught some kind of strange, contagious Skittles pox type thing. And then I can combine the different techniques. So I've got polka dots on this, then I put a layer of paint around it. This time I'd used yellow paint on this bow instead of the white, like in the last example. And then I'm going around that with some glitter glue. Now this bow is one that I have fallen in love with. I love the way this one has come together. But I can't say that about every single one of these. There's some of these, yeah, I'm not feeling love for them. For those, I'm just going to say oops. They are outstanding opportunities presenting suddenly. And in a moment, you're going to see how I turn the one that I liked the very least into probably my favorite one. Now I'm going to use whatever I have around to put some color on this, and in this case it is a fine liner that is filled with acrylic ink. Now whatever you have around, I highly encourage you as you're playing around, just use what you have and see where it goes. Now as you're looking at all the bows here, there are some I've absolutely fallen in love with. The greens and purples make my heart sing. And then there's some that, well, they're just really an oops. They're, no matter what I seem to do, they kind of keep getting uglier and uglier. And that's what's happening to the one that's actually in my hand. That is the one that I like the least. Every layer that I've put on it, I'm like, oh, this doesn't help it. Oh, this isn't doing it. So it really is one giant outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly. So what's the opportunity in this one? The fact that I don't care. I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at this and just have fun with it. I've grabbed another fine liner here and I am just putting all sorts of drops, not just one, but plural. There are many drops on there of white acrylic ink. Just drop, drop, drop and seeing what happens. I didn't let the blue from the last segment dry. I'm just working right on top of it. And it's still not looking that great to me, so I decided more splatters. Not because I thought they would have an incredible visual impact, but it's just really fun to make it go splat and splurt and send those paint drops flying. So that's what I'm doing there with the fine liners. Now I'm bringing in some lime green, and at this point there's a whole lot of color happening here, and it's all running together. Things haven't had time to dry, and they're also very wet, so things are going to begin to mingle and play together. Now, logic and reason might say I should lighten up or think about what I'm doing, but I actually have more fun doing it the other way, of globbing stuff on there like this iridescent glitter glue here. Love getting more sparkle on there, and it's picking up little bits of color here and there. Everything's running together. Most important to me right now is that I'm having fun. It's still not looking that great to me, but I'm having a blast loading this thing up with all sorts of supplies, because whatever I've got around, whatever I can grab, is fair game to put on here. And so what does this need next? Another color. There's no orange anywhere on here. So now I'm going to attempt to put some polka dots back on there by putting some orange paint anywhere that I can find that it might stick. And that's a little bit harder than you'd expect on this because there's a whole lot of wet stuff on here that has not dried yet. But in the process of putting all these layers on what was at one point really ugly, this has become my absolute favorite bow of them all. Now this isn't my first oops that I've ever made. It won't be my last, that's for sure. And I know that because I make these all the time. Oopsies happen to me quite frequently. So those people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel, hint, hint, hit that subscribe button. They know when I've got a video out, and most of my videos contain an oopsie somewhere in there. And you can also get signed up for my free newsletter that lets you know what other oopsies I'm up to, what's going on, and you can find all that over on the blog at acolorfuljourney.com. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and letting me be a part of your colorful journey.